What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the all-new Mathews V3 Bow Build. It is the end of August right now, which is crazy. I even have my hands on this type of bow so early, but it's awesome because I get to mess around with it. I get to build it and get it ready for you guys to see right when we launch. So in this box, of course I already opened it, I couldn't wait, but this is the all-new V3 from Mathews, and this is their long version. They also have a 27 axle, but this is going to be my bow for out west. So today what we're going to do, we're going to kind of run through some features, but we're going to set it up completely start to finish to a bullet hole and hopefully a group at like 60 yards and see how we do. So we're just going to dive right in. Literally haven't done anything to this bow. Just working on my 29 or my 28, so I gotta get this way out. One thing about this bow right off the bat is it is a pass parallel bow, so the limbs swoop in pass parallel. So like on the VXRs and stuff, they were more like parallel and then in, but these are already pass parallel. So using a correct bow press is really important. I love the Last Chance archery press, and Mathews is really dope, and they have these little cutouts that they fit in. That one's not all in. There we go. That they fit in just like that. So first thing we are going to do is bolt. Oh really, I don't even need it in the press yet. But we're going to bolt everything onto the bow that we're going to need. I'm going to run through kind of what I'm going to be using this year. So first up is a Trinity Hunter Pro. Go ahead and put that on. Been running this for 2 years now. Had it on my VXRs, had it on my Hoyts, and both are really good compatibility wise. So I actually went with the gray color. It's different colors, if you didn't know, that you can get on the Hamskis. And they sent a 6 sticker. Put that right there. So assembly of these rests are pretty easy too. You really don't even need a bow press or anything to get these together. But Hampshire Hunter Pro drop away rest, we gotta attach it to the limb. I'm not gonna go through how I do that right now. So on the V3 it's pretty standard like other bows. Oh, I was confused for a second. Pretty standard as other bows. There's one big central bolt. You go right in the side. There is going to be some paint in there. That's totally fine if it's brand new and you never had a bolt in there before. So it is going to be a little tough right at first. Just make sure you don't cross thread them. You just want to get past that paint. Snug it down. It fits pretty good. Even with, this was one of my concerns, is Mathews has this new cable guard going down. What that essentially does is it is perfectly in center on the cables rather than having the cable guard come straight out and then it's up higher compared, you know, like equal distance on the cable. So that's down, but we do have clearance. It's rubbing a little bit on this plastic shelf, but that's totally fine. And probably once I bump the rest out to get it tuned, probably be fine. So next step, I'm just gonna put it in the bow press because it's super easy to operate with it in the bow press. But we have our cord right here. We got our tensioner system, I guess you call it. I don't know what this is called. You got to back it out a little bit, especially on these shorter axle bows. You don't want a bunch of extra-ness. So you just keep it like that. I'm going to put the O-ring back on so I don't lose it. And what I do, which actually, it's August, Hampshire just released this cool little mount that actually replaces this clip on the bottom. And if you've watched my stuff before, I actually like to open up this clip, if I can find the right Allen wrench. I like to open up this clip and put this rope underneath here because it kind of creates a kind of creates a very bulletproof way to secure the rope to your limb, rather than just tying it to the limb, putting a sticker thing on it so it doesn't slip. It is pretty bulletproof if you do it that way, but by loosening this or replacing this, it doesn't do anything to the bow. So it's totally safe, doesn't do anything. I've noticed no difference at all. You just want to make sure that you tighten these back down equally when you do it. And I think there's a little bit of Loctite or something on these, so it is kind of hard to get these out. And I never take them all the way out. I just loosen them just enough to where I can fit the rope underneath it. Yeah, there's definitely Loctite or something on them. Okay, that should be good. So now I just take the rope. It'll fit. Yeah, there we go. Put it underneath there just like that. Then what I'll actually do before I tie it down, I'll put it right in the middle. Get pretty good tension on it. Put it right in the middle. And then I will tighten it down until it gets snug. And then after it's snug, I will put knots in it and tie it down. Kind of like as a secondary precaution, because when you get this thing smashed all the way down, it's really smashing down this rope and it's not going to come off. But I still like to tie it. And then also when you tie it, it gives you extra rope in case something happens. Like you have all this extra length and rope once you tie it. But yeah, this is kind of tedious, but it's way easier in my opinion and way more durable, I guess. And it kind of gives you another way if you want to tighten it. Let's say you need a solid piece of rope, like if you lose this adjustment piece and all you have is like a shoelace, you're up in the mountains, you got to use your shoelace to get this tight again. You can just run it through here, loosen these up, pull it tight, tighten it down. So there we go, that's pretty tight. I don't think you want to go like crazy tight on it. You never really want to go crazy tight on anything on an archery bow. So boom, that's in there, and then all I do is just like half hitches. So you go through, tighten it down. Super easy knots. Like I said, it just allows you to have this little bit of extra rope in case anything happens or goes wrong or you gotta use it for something else. I think this is even D-loop material, so you can actually make your D-loop out of this. Don't quote me on that, but it really looks like it. Okay, so we're getting down to the final here. I'll take some pliers, grab onto that, pull it really tight. Then I'll take razor blade, dull razor blade, cut it. Then I'll take my lighter and I'll do it just like a D-loop. Smash it up against there, and that thing is not going anywhere. There you have it. Hampshire rest is installed. It's not tuned, it's not centered, but it is installed and it is tight. How to check if your Hampshire rest is tight enough? You just pull up on it. If the rest does not move down or anything, you're good to go. And then how this little adjustment works, I'll just kind of give you a rundown and show it. But you can loosen it all the way up. It just kind of tightens against itself. You can slide it all the way tight, tightens against itself, and then this little rubber thing is just a safety mechanism to keep it from popping out. And what I've done in the past, instead of this little rubber piece, is I'll actually take serving material and just serve over that if I know it's going to be a little bit more permanent. And what I'll probably do actually right now, see how there's a lot of gap right here? Like I've gone through and around a lot, so there's a lot right here. And if I pulled back right now, there's a chance that that would separate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take serving material and just do some half hitches on that. to kind of keep it together. Done that in the past and it works really good. Just one of those things, like, you know, when you're hunting, and you know, one big thing that I was nervous about first using a limb driven rest and a cord, you know, additional piece of string, an additional something to go wrong, is I was like, well, what if I was at full draw and like I drew back and it went slack and it hit a branch, which has never happened. But let's just say it did. So, you know, this kind of helps prevent that with that extra rope in there. So this is just very easy over under knots. You just go over and then under. And then once you're done, you remember which way you went, you just go the opposite way to make a square knot. Tighten that down. Use a really dull razor blade. Cut away from your strings, people. And then leather. Burn those down. Perfect. Okay. Next, we're just going to put everything on the bow. So let's put sight bracket that I have to take off of my VXR. We're kind of disassembling my VXR and putting it on the new V3 because season's almost here. I mean, we leave real soon for out west. So Allen wrench. I'm just going to take this off. I'm going to be using the same sight I've been running for 6 years now. The AccuTouch by Excel. Awesome sight. Set this down for now. Probably is going to be retired. I might switch around and shoot some stuff with it, just so I can get turnaround time quick on videos, but we'll see. That is still to be determined because it's only August. Which is still crazy. I have the brand new Mathews in my hand. Okay, let's put this bracket on. This is super easy. Really don't need to explain this at all. There's a little bit of paint in that one. Just in the process of them painting the risers and then tapping the screw holes, sometimes there's a little bit of paint in it. So don't freak out. Okay. There's that. We're going to put the sight on. I have a quick rundown. This is the Excel AccuTouch, like I already said. I have the Ultra View 2 scope on it with the hunting kit on the inside. 10 thousandths pin. Which is pretty new for the time in August, but by the time November rolls around, when you're watching this, it's not too new. So, there's that. Man, I haven't talked this much in a while. We have Vantage Be Real Stabilizer Edition. We're going to get these opened up. I am running 9 inches in the back, 12 inches in the front. It comes with 2 yellow coated custom stabilizer weights. So all you do to put those on is you loosen this limb saver dampener. Pretty sure this is a really long bolt. Yeah, it is. Just loosen this all the way. I'm actually going to add a little bit more weight than just these 2. You can get more weight if you're like wanting to get these. You can get more weight at Shoot Archery's website. There we go. We have to go black and yellow. So do yellow, black, yellow. I'll do 4 ounces in the back. We'll start with that. See how that feels. New bow, you never know what it's going to feel like. So you screw that back in. and this is the 12-inch one that I run in the front, and I already put these weights on earlier. Oh, no, I can't come off. Seriously. Alright, well, I want more weight than that. So I'm going to steal the one off my VXR, I guess. Then again. Oh yeah, we'll just steal this one. So this one has screwed cells, tungsten weights. I think these are 1.5 ounces. Could be totally wrong on that. But they're a little bit smaller. Tungsten's a heavier metal. Okay, so now to install the side bracket, we'll put it in the press again. It's just easier to operate with the press. Just that. This is the Shrewd Atlas side mount. You can also get it in the Mathews edition. So if you just go on Mathews' website, you can get that right on the website, shipped right to your door. This is one bolt that you can just crank on, because you don't want that thing coming loose. There we go. I already know I'm going to want this adjusted a little bit. Super adjustable. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to need the angle down from my VXR again. Let's go ahead and take this off. I run a, I think it's an 8-degree down. I just like how it feels. It's all about feel, running it straight, degree down. What I mean by a degree down, this quick disconnect has an angle on it. So your stabilizer actually sits down. It's like angled down. So this creates a different feel to it. Corona. Dude, I hope Corona is over by the time this video posts. Just saying. That's, if me saying Corona just then is actually like no longer relevance, that'll be funny. Okay. Tighten this on. This is super easy. It's just a giant bolt. Goes in the front. But with these angles down, it's important that you have it 100% lined up. Because if you don't, your stabilizer will kind of wonk out to the left or the right. Which is kind of interesting. You can play with that. Gets a different feel, but for the most part, you want it straight. Okay. Let's go ahead. Put our quick disconnect on. A sweet looking bow. It's like sweet looking when it's bare, but once it gets everything on, it really makes it look sweet. Heck yeah. Oh, next, we need to put on a B-roll grip. The V3s do have the engage grip on, so if you want to put an aftermarket grip, like the Ultra B-roll grip, you can do that. So we got a brand new one here. Open it up. Never actually opened one of these brand new up before. Signature, I have signed that. That's my actual signature. And there it is, the grip. Looks super nice. Okay, so this is actually a good tutorial how to put these on because we get questions about it every now and again. You pretty much just grab a corner of this grip, kind of pull it up and out, and there's just a bunch of stickiness on it. So you just gotta kind of keep on working it, getting the stickies off. pull it out just like that. And that's the engaged grip. It's gone. But now, see all this gunk that's on here? You just take your thumb and you peel it all away. It's important you do this because if you put the B-roll grip with this stuff on, you may not be getting it off. So if you want to keep it on forever, totally fine. You can keep this gunk on, but we recommend taking all this glue off. And it's not actually like glue. It's the sticky dot things that they use for like mailing things and whatnot. So you can't use any tools with it either because you don't want to scratch it up. You literally just take your finger, take it all off. It's like boogers. Big glue boogers. Mathews boogers. Alright. So take the grip. You put the top end in first, especially with this hamski, you got to put the top in first. Then it clips right into place. And should 95% of bows, it should be a good snug fit and you don't have to do anything. If it's not a snug fit, sometimes different finishes, older model bows, you have to put electrical tape, the black electrical tape, on either side and then put it on and see if it's snug. If it's not snug, you put another layer on. So rather than using some sort of glue or like double-sided tape, what works best is just thickening the riser so we get a snug fit on there. Here we go. Looks sick. Okay, now we got to put everything on the bow string. So we'll spin this. We need to get 100%, 90 degrees. 90 degrees off of the string, running right through the burr hole. So, let's see. You use these two clamps for that. Put it on the string, and then you need to use the arrow that you're going to be hunting with or using. Make sure it's not a random arrow. And then actually what I'm going to do is you loosen your hamski rest so that it stands up straight on its own. Oh yeah, I'm already going to have to move the hamski rest way to the left. You can see how crooked that arrow's coming. It's just how they pre-send the hamski rest. It's just way off. So you can set the center shot of a Mathews is roughly 13/16 of an inch. So if you actually just take a ruler and you measure 13/16 to the edge of the riser to the center of the arrow, technically it should hit a bullet hole. This is all technical, so is that the case 100% of the time? Probably not. That's really close. Tighten that back down. Okay, so roughly we have our left and right good now, just 13/16 right off the riser to the center of the arrow. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this level. We're going to use this is a Last Chance press, super awesome, family owned company. They make the best bow presses in the world. You can actually loosen it up, turn the whole bow, Corona, and too much. Get that lined up, tighten it down, double check. Yeah, tightening it down, moved it. There we go. Pretty dang close. And then you go over here, you can see it good from over image. You can see now that's not level. So bowstring's level, that's not level. And then on top of that, you want to run it right through the burger hole, which is pretty dang close. So you're just moving the knock up and down the string. We're going to get the arrow 100% level there. Oh yeah, see, the rest wasn't up all the way. Make sure the rest is up all the way to your shooting position. Level. Pretty close to level. There. Right through the top end of the burger hole. So we're going to drop this down just a touch. Drop it down, make sure the rest is up. Everything's level, pretty close. No, that's not level. There we go. Boom, top end of the burger hole. Let's give it a shot right there. So now it's good, make sure everything's tight on your rest. Corona. And tighten this back down, take all the snaps off. But leave your arrow. Then you take some serving tool, and what I do, if you watch bow builds in the past, I do one big, or not big, about 3 or 4 knots on the bottom to create my knock indicator. So I'll go in here, and these are just half hitches again. It's like the most popular thing you can know in archery, and it's super easy. Just do one normal knot on the top, one on the bottom. So that was two rows. That's 3. And then I'm going to do one more knot on the bottom. And then I'm going to top it off with square knots so you remember which way you're doing it. You do the opposite way. That cinches it down. Unknock your arrow. Take your dull razor blade. Here. And you just burn these down. Oh, man, tickle. Knock indicator. Now we can do our D-loop. I think I'm going to go with black. So what I like to do is I like to knock my arrow again, kind of just as a reference. Holy cow. I'm trying to remember which way I do this. Not facing. Yep, we're good. Okay. Take your lighter. You fluff the one end. And a trick by Jesse Broadwater, he never likes to burn it. You just get it hot enough to melt it. When you burn it, supposedly it deteriorates the material. It doesn't make it as strong. So you spend a little bit of extra time, use the blue part of the flame, because that's the lower heat temperature. Ow! Now the lighter's super hot. Okay, so once that's burned down, we're just going to tighten it down. I don't like to cut this end yet until I make the other end. Just kind of hand tighten it. You can see that knot, or that burn is just like a perfect little ball right there. So that's going to be perfect. And then you just go ahead and make your other side. And you run your knots. What I like to do, you can do them on the same side if that's your deal. But you put your knots on the bottom towards you, and then, or the burn end on the bottom towards you, on the top end away from you. And what that does, especially with handheld releases, trigger releases it doesn't matter as much because the caliper sits horizontal. But with handheld releases, a lot of times you twist. So by allowing those burn ends to be opposites of each other and in this way, it kind of like offsets the D-loop a little bit. Does it matter? Probably not a whole lot. Like if you ran test at 100 yards through a machine, it might be noticeable, but I like to do it anyways. So we're going to make our D-loop just a little short like this because it's not all the way tight down. What we're going to do now is take our razor blade. We're going to cut a little extra. Need to get a new razor blade. We're going to fluff it. Looks pretty good. So what I like to do also is you want some room for your knock in there. You don't want it to be super tight. So see if you can zoom in on this, Mitch. Show how much movement I like. The knock's moving, you know, just a little bit because when you pull back it's going to experience some pinching. So we want a little bit of knock play. Brand new serving too. Probably, if I had the time and wanted to, I'd probably reserve this maybe to a little bit smaller serving for these knocks, but it'll be good once it gets worn in. So we're going to take our Easton pliers that have these little D-loop cutouts on them. It's super convenient, but you don't need them. You can just use regular pliers. And we're just going to stretch it out a little bit. Put our knock back in, double check. A little bit of movement. We're going to tighten it back down. There you go. That's the D-loop. Pretty good looking one too. Next is the peep sight. So I have a Raptor peep, the 3/16, I believe. So we're just going to press the bow. Just kind of going to guess where this is going to be height-wise for me. Separate the string. This little blue piece right here is 100% true center of the string. Especially if you get solid string colors like me, it's important that you keep that in there. Let's see, which way do I put this? It's always a little bit of a mind game. There we go. Looks a little high. Really, I should have put the peep sight in first because it would have stretched the string and then put the D-loop on, but it's really not that big of a deal. I just had to switch the D-loop around. Oh, and then before we forget, let's tighten this back down. Let's use two hands. There we go, nice and tight. And the Allen wrench was still in it. Should probably double check that's tightened down. now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my peep sight height. So switch me. And I'm not going to shoot it because peep sight's not tied in or anything. But I am just going to pull back and check the peep sight height. Oh, yeah. It's actually pretty decent. This needs to go lower. And you should move your sight. If you have a sight tape single pin, you should move it to the center of your sight tape so that you align your peep sight for the center of your tape. Okay, even though it's completely backwards, that feels good. So what we're gonna have to do is put it in the press and completely switch my peep sight to 180. So I'll just pick it up, spin it around. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little tie-in so that it's safe to shoot. You never want to shoot a bow without a peep sight tied in. So I'm just going to do some quick knots. You do just an overhand knot on the top, knot on the bottom, knot on the top. They do a square knot on the bottom. There we go. Alright, we're really close to getting this thing completely set up. So now all we're going to do is we're going to shoot it through paper and see what kind of tear we get. Go from there. Okay, if I get a bullet hole from this, everyone owes me $1. That's all I'm going to say. Right out of the box. But that rarely happens. Not impossible, but rarely. Yeah, buddy. Look at that. Holy cow, guys. That's pretty smoking. Alright, now that's not... So this is the typical, you go into a pro shop, you shoot a bullet hole from like this close, and you get a bullet hole and you're done. But what actually shows is when you go to 8 feet, that shows the maximum like movement of the arrow. So now we're going to do that. It's probably not going to be a bullet hole if we go back that far. That's really good. Alright, just stand like right there. I'm going to shoot from down here. What one was it? This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see now we have a slight left tear. Slight. Very slight. So we're going to bump the rest. We're going to bump the rest to the right just slightly. See what that does. But I mean, guys, that was super easy. Let's get a little bit. That might have been too much. Tighten it back down. Okay, drag it. Shoo. Looks pretty good. It's this one, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Man. I think we can just do a little bit better than that, even though that's like almost perfect. Let's just do just barely anything. Just a little bit to the right. Just about like that. Will be money now. Man, that might have been the easiest. I don't know if I'm getting better or if that was just super easy, but that was super easy. Man, that's pretty dang good. I'm gonna call that a wrap. How long was that? 35 minutes?
Yeah,
40
maybe.
minutes maybe? Of pretty much non-stop. There was no like, hold on, I gotta figure this out. That was non-stop setting up this bow. Pretty awesome. Alright, well we're outside now. We're gonna take a little break. We're outside. We're gonna shoot from 20 yards. We're just gonna walk it back all the way. I'm gonna see how this thing groups. It's pretty windy out right now, so this isn't gonna be like a true test. But it'll be good to get out and shoot some arrows. Hopefully I don't miss. Okay. Definitely gonna have to move my left and rights, which I need a Allen wrench. Man, it's really windy. Is your audio freaking out? Can you tell? It's probably pretty decent. Those are pretty decent. I feel like it's a bit quieter. What do you think?
I mean, I think when we shot it indoors at Mathews, it was pretty quiet.
I think the only buzz I'm hearing is like my sight.
It'd be cool to shoot it side by side with your VXR
Yes.
and see.
That'd be a good video.
Yeah.
Like on its own. Comparison. Why should you upgrade? I'll have to check the poundage on this too. Shooting pretty flat. I'm gonna grab an Allen wrench and fix this real quick. Okay, still left. Definitely has a different vibration out of it. It's quieter for sure. These don't have any rhyme or reason where they are. This time though, I think one of these was my last one, so we're getting close to the middle. We're back at 65 yards right now. Pretty quick to get back to 65. This time though, we should be able to see how good of a group we can get. Looks good. Look how close that gray matches. The Hampshire matches the riser. Definitely glad I did that. Okay, straight left. Right in the middle. That was perfect. I feel like there's a buzz coming from my sight. You hear it? It's like a...
Yeah, it's...
pretty nice group down there. A little right. We'll go grab these, shoot one more. Then we'll do like a final spec, I guess. I want to check the poundage on this. So far though, it's definitely quiet. There's a little buzz that I think is from my sight. Something's loose on my sight. It's not like a bow buzz like normal. Initial impressions though, granted I shot this a little bit already before a different one, but my own V3, it's pretty styling. Alright, let's go check them out. Okay, so not bad. This was my first arrow. Moved the sight. I think this one I just janked on. So this is a true group. Good shots in the middle. So a little right. I gave it a couple clicks already. I'm gonna try to find where that rattle is too. Shoot one more. And then shoot a lot more with it because we got to get ready. But finally pumped, it's all set up, ready to rip in a couple weeks. So this little end cap on the shroud, that was loose. It took us a second, but if you ever have a weird rattle, make sure you check that, I guess. Okay, so I moved it to the right last time. Let's see how we do this time. Yeah, way quieter. Alright, that's better. Alright, not a bad group down there. A little low. Bumped it, but let's go pull them. Then we'll go over some specs. Then we'll be done. So, not bad. But this one was definitely because of the wind. And then initially, this was my first arrow, and I moved my sight since then. So if we're going off pure accuracy, that's more like the group that when the shots broke, they hit right in the middle. So, like I said, it's windy. Literally the first 10 shots, or let's see, 12 shots out of the bow or so. So I'm super happy with it, but let's jump inside, let's go over some specs and kind of what I'm going to be running for this year. Okay, so new for this year, I'm running Easton Pro comps. Kind of gonna give them a try. They're a 4mm, super skinny, carbon on the outside, aluminum on the inside. So definitely was designed for a target arrow, but Easton designed these What are they made out of? Hello. Oh, I don't know. Titanium. They're made out of titanium, 50 grain, super strong, super straight. So makes a target arrow, a hunting arrow pretty much. So I'm running that at 450 grains, exactly. So that's right in the ballpark of like a very medium arrow. It's not super heavy, above 500 grains. It's not super light, but a good arrow for anything pretty much that I'm going to be hunting. Mule deer, elk, whitetail. Perfect. Next, let's just check the poundage on this dude real quick. I think I got it at 75 pounds. Should be at 75. Feels lighter than that, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little lighter. Okay, 74.3. Let's give it another read. Yeah, 74.1. So right there, 74, 75 pounds, which is perfect. I mean, that's kind of what I want to be running, right at 75 pounds. But I'm super pumped. I'm super pumped to get this bow set up. Finally, been looking at it for about a week, waiting to do a video on it. Super pumped I can finally share it with you guys too. Thank you guys so much for watching a bow build on the brand new V3. Can't believe I have it right now, and it's in August. So hopefully by this point, by the time we release this, I've shot some animals with this thing. So that's the goal. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check it out, bowbuilder.com, on Mathews' website. Catch you guys next time.